Okay, so today we're going to do the decal. It's a quick exercise. It's quick when you understand how to go about doing it. Same old, same old. I'm dropping in the image layer that I'm working from, layering it, putting it on its own layer, naming it, hitting OK, and locking that image so it's not going to move on me. Then I'll get my pen tool, go to layer 2, and I'm going to name this Orca. Hit OK to that. Command spacebar to zoom into the area I want to work on, and then I'm going to just draw the contour of this orca. And I'm always going to follow the same formula. Same thing again. There's the beginning of a curve, end of a curve. This is a curve in the opposite direction. White arrow. Should go white arrow and then the pen tool so that every time I hit the command key, it takes me back to the white arrow so I can adjust my handle lengths. I should get rid of the fill so I can see what I'm doing. Beginning of this curve, I think I can probably whip it around right there. Oops. That means I have to get my pen tool back here to get the slash mark to continue with my drawing. Okay, let's see what I can do here. I'll take that, spacebar to get the hand tool, come up here, spacebar, pull this handle out there. So I'm going to need another anchor point right there. Notice that I put the pen tool there, the plus pops up. So now I can turn this handle this way and I can get this nice subtle, if I don't like the positioning of it, just move the whole thing. And that gets that really nice subtle little S curve that we're looking for that. Now on this, I could go and draw this, but I need to come up with a design solution for it. So I'm hitting the option key here, and then I'm going to just imply the disturbance on the water surface. And then I'll taper it. Again, I'm adhering to the rule of odds. Rule of odds meaning odd numbers in a composition always look better. So I went 1, 2, 3 curves before I got back into this texture. Now I'm putting this on a black background, and so the black background, I'm just going to have this whale, these white spots, a little bit of the splash that runs the contour where the body meets the water, and that should be sufficient to get this done well. So now here I need to get some subtle wave motion and then zoom in there because I'm going to get into some of the water rippling, which is going to be a textural difference between the front or the back area where we were back here where it's nice and smooth and gradual to a little bit more agitation texturally over here. And then I'll close the shape. Okay, since it's a black shape, I need this thing to have, I can make it into a white silhouette, which is what I tell all my students to do. But in order for this to be black, I'm going to have to do an offset path. Offset path. Preview this. That's too small. I want to go with a negative number because I like my contour edge. So I want copies inside of that contour. And I like that. So I'll hit OK to that. This back here is going to be white. This, however, is going to be black. So with that said, I'm going to go with my pencil tool, which I haven't shown you guys to this point, and I can cover that quickly. If I double click here, these being to the left, the fidelity and the smoothness means that whatever I draw with the pen tool is going to be exactly what I draw with the pen tool. I'm sorry, with the pencil. If I slide these over to the right, I could scribble like a madman, and I might get 3 vector anchor points, because the computer overrides what I'm telling it to do and it'll simplify it. So I like these over to the left so I get what I want. I want to keep this unchecked because I don't want it to fill. I want it to be the stroke. I want it to stay selected. If for some reason I run out of room with my positioning of the mouse on the desktop and I have to reposition myself, I lift up and restart again. I want it to stay selected, and I want to be able to modify my paths that I've created. And like I said earlier, if I have to reposition my hand, let's say I started here and I have to reposition my hand, I come back. If I'm within 20 pixels, I start with the pencil again, and it'll connect for me. So that's why I want this slid over to the right to offer the maximum flexibility with my drawing. Okay, so with the pencil tool, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a little of this, and I'm reinterpreting that information because I want that to stay white. In fact, I need to go and select both of these and get rid of the fill so I can see what this looks like over here. Okay, I'll go and find this, and with the pencil tool, I'm going to go and define this shape. And that's close enough for my purposes. Okay, if I make these both white so we can see what we're doing here, I'm going to use this shape to cut through the bottom shape. If you notice, this overlaps. Command 0 to center up my artboard, and then bring up the Pathfinder tool. And in order to cut, I'm going to use the minus front, and then that's going to be that. I'm going to create a box, the black in the background, so I can check my work. And I always want to make sure I have a rich black going here. Minimum 50s and 100. Rotate this or arrange it to the back, and so you can see what I've got going so far with this. Okay, I'm going to put that on its own layer just to stay organized, and you just have to give yourself a little bone every once in a while. You just got to sit there and see what you're doing, get excited, build a little momentum of success. And on the Orca layer, I've got the white outline, and then I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to draw the patch here. Close that shape. Color it white. This the interior part, I can redefine with my pencil. And as long as I resume on the same line, it fills it in for me. Now here's where I have to make a design decision. Do I want this gray to be white, or do I want it to be black? Let's preview it. I think that it'd be more artistic if I went and changed that. So I'm going to add a little bit of this information here, some of the highlight with my pencil. It helps to define the beautiful contours of this animal. Therefore, I'm going to draw it in. So I could do it with the pencil, or more preferably, I think I'd rather do it with the pen tool for precision purposes. And I think that's going to do it for this. Okay. Unlock this. Command A, Option Shift, scale it down. I want it to present to my client smack dab in the middle. I'm going to cut this. Command X, center my artboard. Command V to paste. It'll always put it smack dab in the middle. And then that's going to be that. As I look at this, however, I'm not satisfied. I think I want to have a little bit of a wave here in the front. So I'm going to do this. And the beauty about Illustrator is that I can always undo it if I don't like it. But I think aesthetically, that helps things to read a little bit better. So I'm going to go with that. Tab key gets rid of all my palettes. Maximize my artboard. The letter F, and then handbar. And that's that.